Mr. Gilbert Garcia. We'll go in that order. And whenever you're ready, Brett.
The wealth of Montgomery County's economy depends on the health and the public safety of its citizens. Now, what do we know about Montgomery County? It's got the fastest growing economy. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, State Reps. In the state of Texas. The #1 relocation county in the entire state. The state everybody wants to move to and the state that everybody wants to be at. What do we know about public safety? Even though this is where everybody wants to be, it wasn't always in this way. We're the birthplace of the Texas flag, but yet we're ranked the deadliest roadways in the state of Texas. The corridors on 105 were the worst of all. Since taking office, we've reduced that by 70%. You've heard the constable talk about no fatalities involving drugs or alcohol on the lake in the last 3.5 years. We've brought an innovative approach to spending. The commissioners, there has not been a single tax increase in your taxes in the last 3.5, 4 years. Every fund, every addition that we've made to the DA's office has been with new money. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now Ms. Tracy Pullen.
Good afternoon. I'm Tracy Pullen. I'm a lifelong resident of Montgomery County. I have the most prosecutorial experience, and I'm running to be your district attorney. I want to let you know that I fully embrace being tough on crime, but I will not add layer upon layer of bureaucracy that bloats the budget by 51%. I will never rejoice in long sentences as a result of a failing in our humanity. I have prosecuted a capital murder. I have looked into the eyes of the victims, and I know that there's nothing joyful about getting a life sentence. When you elect me, pedophiles and violent criminals will continue to go to prison for a long time because you will send them. I will implement a diversion program for youthful and first-time nonviolent offenders. I will cut the budget by at least 10% in the first year, and I will reduce and streamline the office. Most importantly, I will give justice to the victims. I will enforce the laws of this great legislators. Thank you, and vote for me, Tracy Pullen.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia.
Thank you. My name is Gilbert Garcia, and I'm running for district attorney. My chamber roots go far back. I was the chair of Conroe Downtown Revitalization. I started that project for this chamber. I'm proud of our chamber, and I'm proud of our city. The theme of my campaign is fearless. Not me, you. Law-abiding people of our county should not be in fear of a police state. My background: I graduated from Notre Dame and the University of Texas Law School. I've been a lawyer for 33 years, more than both of my opponents combined. I'm the only board-certified lawyer in criminal law in the race. I'm also the only lawyer that has been in charge of both as a defense attorney and a prosecutor, a capital case. Right now, you're dealing with rookies.
All right, thank you. And now Andy will ask the first question, and the answer we will go in the order we will go in. Mr. Garcia will go first, Ms. Pullen second, Mr. Wiggin third for this question.
Do you believe a public integrity division is necessary in the district attorney's office? Why or why not? And follow-up to that is, what role should that division play in prosecuting police officers and other public officials? Should they be treated the same as your average citizen?
Exactly. Nobody should be given extra treatment one way or the other. I'm against a public integrity unit. Everybody should be treated fairly and with justice. This has nothing to do about media, because if a district attorney does the right thing, the media will come. You don't need to seek it out. You don't need to have a big play. What you need to do is the right thing in each individual case. Police officers, lawyers, doctors, commissioners, judges, we all should be under the same law and be treated the same way, not singled out and especially not tried in the media.
Ms. Tracy Pullen?
The Public Integrity Office, I do not believe needs to exist in the DA's office. There are a group of amazing prosecutors, many of them are here. They are educated and they know exactly what they are doing. By creating these specialized divisions, we are taking away the ability to cross-train. Every single one of the prosecutors in that office has integrity. And they know if someone is charged with a crime, no matter who they are, where they're from, what their political background is, or what their job background is, that they will be prosecuted evenly. And that goes for everyone. Law enforcement, if they mess up, they're humans just like any of us. Public officials can make mistakes. They will be prosecuted evenly and the same as anyone else. We don't create special rules for different types of people.
Thank you. Mr. Liggett?
Well, let this rookie from outside of Montgomery County tell you about why we need public integrity. Well, no Republican elected official, no appointed officials, nobody across the great state of Montgomery County had been convicted. Elected officials and appointed officials are not held to a higher standard, but by gosh, they ought to be held to the same standard as everybody else, don't you think? And so when there's a different set of rules because there's different authority, that's not right. Even a rookie knows that public integrity is one of the most critical things for the community. When you kill somebody, you've killed a person. If you're a public official and you violate the public trust, you've killed the whole community. Public integrity is important. The community continues to say it's important. And this office, as long as I'm here, will continue to have not only the support of the community, Sheriff Gage, Constable Chumley, and every other elected law enforcement official in this community and across the state of Texas. Thank you.
All right, Andy will now ask the second question. This time first to Ms. Pullen, second to Brett Liggett, and then third to Mr. Garcia.
What is the DA's responsibility to prosecute and seek prison sentences versus working to ensure rehabilitation opportunities for nonviolent offenders?
I think I alluded to that in my opening statement. People that pose a threat to our society need to go to prison. People that make us question our humanity and question what is going on in this world, they need to go to prison. And guess what? They will, no matter who is in charge. Those people will continue to go to prison. The difference is when you have nonviolent, when you have first time, when you have youthful offenders, they need a chance. They need an opportunity. And especially when we're talking about the youthful ones, creating a group of young citizens in our county that have a criminal record is harmful to our community because they go, they get a record, and guess what happens when they get out? They can't get a job. You know how easy it is to look up criminal histories now? You give them an opportunity to do what's right and be productive citizens of our community, and you're doing right by this community.
Mr. Liggett?
DA's responsibility. Code of Criminal Procedure sets it out and says for everybody. The DA's office duty is to seek justice. And there is a vast difference between the way the District Attorney's Office treats violent repeat offenders versus non-violent low-risk offenders. It's actually the first opportunity I've had to address the programs that the courts have in place. We have the DWI court that started at the felony levels, and I've insisted that it starts at the misdemeanor levels because 100% of your felony DWIs started as misdemeanors. DWI court, drug court, mental health court, the anti-gang juvenile task force that we've created with the county attorney's office, in addition to the first recognized pretrial diversion in which we separate nonviolent, low-risk offenders from a true person who needs to be separated from society. It goes on every day. My opponents are clearly aware of it because as practicing criminal defense attorneys, they avail themselves of those same opportunities. Thank you.
Mr. Garcia?
The problem is he fought that tooth and nail. The judges are the ones that did the DWI court. The judges are the ones that instituted drug court. They've been immensely successful. I've actually had a case where his people came to a court with a poster child for the DWI court and said, and I quote, "We don't believe in rehabilitation." On the record. That's just not true. Also, there hasn't been a veterans court. A man that gets $8 million in a budget can't start a veterans court for our veterans? That shows you how much he's interested in rehabilitation. The violent crime cases are easy. Pedophiles, murderers, sex offenders, drug dealers, prison, as long as we can put them. But everybody's going to do that. The hard part is saving people. The hard part is deciding who to save and saving us from $8 million that are now in the trash can. Thank you.
All right, thank you to each of you. Now it's time for our 30-second closing statements. We'll start with Ms. Pullen, then Mr. Garcia, and Mr. Ligon will close.
Our great Republican president, Teddy Roosevelt, said, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." Your district attorney needs to be able to have the prosecutorial experience and wisdom to know when to walk softly and when to swing the stick. Your leader